Hey there, Latin 2. Here we are, chapter 54, A Sad Occasion. So, you're going to, of course, read this page 293 to get a feel for what's actually happening. But here's some of the words. So, when someone died in the family, it was very common to display your grief outwardly. And for the women, that meant to hit themselves in the chest, to the pectus plangere. Okay, plangere is to beat, and pectus is your breast or your chest. That's where we get pectoral muscles. Pectus pectoris. It's a neuter. You go around with your clothing having been torn, in other words, scissa veste, and your hair being disheveled. Okay, capilis solutis, loosened hairs, and scissa veste, cut or torn clothing. So then you would have an actual funeral procession afterward, and that's called a pompa. This is where we get pomp and circumstance. And of course, you put the body out in the atrium because it's the only open air room that there is. And then you surround it with lamps, lucernae. So a singular would be lucerna. And that's still, I think, a brand of lantern now. And candles, candelae. So the singular, candela. So that's a word that has not changed in 2,000 years. Anyway, then you would have a procession out to the private crematorium, and you would have people who would be singing dirges out there about your family and about your family member. Those are called the neniae. So a nenia is a singer of a dirge. And yeah, you would have public attendance there if you were a person of the government. So a lictor, the plural of which would be lictores, and they would be carrying various symbols of office, including the fasces. And the fasces is a bundle of rods, a symbol of the strength of office. And then they would give a speech of praise for you in the forum called the laudatio, laudation, essentially. And then they would put you on the funeral pyre. And usually, if you were rich, you had a private one that you would go to, and you paid good money for it. If you were poor, then you'd go to one of the public ones. The private one's nice because it's cleaned off between uses, so you've got just your ashes in there. Whereas if it was a public one, then it would be, a grab bag at the bottom. And that's if they were going to keep the remains. So they'd put you on a rogus, which then they would put some of your items on it and whatnot, and then a family member would say a few things and then burn your body. And then for a few days, your family would be mourning and still showing it off and honoring you. And then they would make a food offering to signify that mourning was over, called the manes. No, I'm sorry. The food offering would be given to the manes. Pardon me. The food offering itself is sometimes the exequias. The manes is the spirit, the thing that remains. Okay. What I want you to do is go ahead and read page 293, and then I'll catch up with you in the next video for more vocab, more glossary. All right? I'm going to hit the button.